Saksakallan gunarnavasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the 12-syllable mantra for worshipping Lord Krishna. One should install the physical forms of the Lord, and with the chanting of the mantra, one should offer flowers and fruits and other varieties of foodstuffs exactly according to the rules and regulations prescribed by authorities. But this should be done in consideration of place, time, and attendant conveniences and inconveniences. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is known as the Dvadashakshara mantra. This mantra is chanted by Vaishnav devotees, and it begins with pranav or omkara. There is an injunction that those who are not Brahmins cannot pronounce the pranava mantra. But Dhruv Maharaj was born a Kshatriya. He at once admitted before Narad Muni that as a Kshatriya he was unable to accept Narad's instruction of renunciation and mental equilibrium, which are the concern of a Brahman. Still, although not a Brahman but a Kshatriya, Dhruv was allowed, on the authority of Narad, to pronounce the pranava omkara. This is very significant. Especially in India, the caste Brahmans object greatly when persons from other castes who are not born in Brahman families recite this pranava mantra. But here is tacit proof that if a person accepts the Vaishnav mantra or Vaishnav way of worshipping the deity, he is allowed to chant the pranav mantra. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord personally accepts that anyone, even one of a low species, can be elevated to the highest position and go back home, back to Godhead, simply if he worships properly. The prescribed rules, as stated here by Narad Muni, are that one should accept the mantra through a bona fide spiritual master and hear the mantra in the right ear. Not only should one chant or murmur the mantra, but in front of him he must have the deity, or physical form of the Lord. Of course, when the Lord appears, it is no longer a physical form. For example, when an iron rod is made red-hot in a fire, it is no longer iron, it is fire. Similarly, when we make a form of the Lord, whether of wood or stone or metal or jewels or paint, or even a form within the mind, it is a bona fide spiritual, transcendental form of the Lord. Not only must one receive the mantra from the bona fide spiritual master, like Narad Muni or his representative in the disciplic succession, but one must chant the mantra. And not only must one chant, but he should also offer whatever foodstuff is available in his part of the world, according to time and convenience. The method of worship chanting the mantra and preparing the forms of the Lord is not stereotyped, nor is it exactly the same everywhere. It is specifically mentioned in this verse that one should take consideration of the time, place, and available conveniences. Our Krishna consciousness movement is going on throughout the entire world, and we also install deities in different centers. Sometimes our Indian friends, puffed up with concocted notions, criticize, "This has not been done. That has not been done." But they forget this instruction of Narad Muni to one of the greatest Vaishnavas, Dhruv Maharaj. One has to consider the particular time, country, and conveniences. What is convenient in India may not be convenient in the Western countries. Those who are not actually in the line of acharyas, or who personally have no knowledge of how to act in the role of acharya, unnecessarily criticize the activities of the iskcon movement in countries outside of India. The fact is that such critics cannot do anything personally to spread Krishna consciousness. If someone does go and preach, taking all risks and allowing all considerations for time and place, it might be that there are changes in the manner of worship, but that is not at all faulty according to Shastra. Srimad Viraraghava Acharya, an Acharya in the disciplic succession of the Ramanuja Sampradaya, has remarked in his commentary that Kandalas, or conditioned souls who are born in lower than Shudra families, can also be initiated according to circumstances. The formalities may be slightly changed here and there to make them Vaishnavas. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends that his name should be heard in every nook and corner of the world. How is this possible unless one preaches everywhere? The cult of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavat Dharma, and he especially recommends Krishna Katha, or the cult of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagwatam. He recommends that every Indian, considering this task to be para-upakara or welfare activity, take the Lord's message to other residents of the world. Other residents of the world does not refer only to those who are exactly like the Indian Brahmins and Kshatriyas, or like the caste Brahmins, who claim to be Brahmins because they were born in the families of Brahmins. The principle that only Indians and Hindus should be brought into the Vaishnav cult is a mistaken idea. There should be propaganda to bring everyone to the Vaishnav cult. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant for this purpose. There is no bar to propagating the Krishna consciousness movement, even among people who are born in Chandala, Mlekya, or Yavana families. Even in India, this point has been enunciated by Srila Sanatana Goswami in his book Hari Bhakti Vilasa, which is Smriti and is the authorized Vedic guide for Vaishnavas in their daily behavior. Sanatana Goswami says that as bell metal can turn to gold when mixed with mercury in a chemical process, so, by the bona fide diksha or initiation method, anyone can become a Vaishnav. One should take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master coming in the disciplic succession, who is authorized by his predecessor spiritual master. His is called Diksha Vidhana. Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita Vyapashritya, one should accept a spiritual master. By this process, the entire world can be converted to Krishna consciousness.